At KaamnaLive, I have the luxury of speaking with experts on a variety of different topics. For this video, I pulled out 5 pieces of advice that I think could truly be life-changing. Here goes. Did you know that 40% of people report falling asleep inadvertently during the day? Still think you're getting enough sleep? Health psychologist Dr. Mike Stanton breaks it down for us.
You know, without sleep, we become more irritable. There are some cognitive effects. Yeah. In addition, we will hallucinate after, a day or two. There is some evidence that people are more likely also to take care of themselves when they get more sleep, eat well.
And make better decisions.
Certainly. And also, I think one I love to say is that, if you're up late at night, what kind of food are you going to grab? Are you going to grab like a zucchini or some salad? You want to get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep. A good sign of whether you're getting enough sleep is whether you wake up naturally. If you need an alarm to get up, you're not sleeping enough.
Your relationship to money matters. If you're making money, then money is the end. But if you're looking at financial well-being, then money is the means to the end being your amazing life. Former investment banker Nirupar Mahapati tells us why the difference is so important.
The biggest asset is actually you. And so you try to resource your life with all the things that can support you for you to thrive. Why do we do what we do? Right. What is it adding to you in your life? What can I do to live an awesome and extraordinary life? My awesome and extraordinary life is going to be very different from yours, but I started with a why. Money, like food, is very emotional. There's always a story behind money. There's always a context behind money, what your parents thought about money, how you grew up. And all of that, unpacking it, actually, it's almost like therapy. When you are in a state of well-being, I think that you're setting yourself up to thrive. So going back to financial well-being, I think like physical mind-body well-being, which I'm also a big practitioner of, these are 2 key resources that are going to help you be on that path of thriving. I think about money as something that is going to empower my one awesome, extraordinary life. But for the money to empower me, I have to empower money.
Loneliness is the experience of being in the dark, with the shadows, of being unseen. And studies show that 1/3 of us report being lonely at least once a week. The way to combat that is to invest in your relationships so that you can once again be connected and be seen. Friendship expert Shasta Nelson tells us of the risks of ignoring this.
The busier we are and the more stress we have, the friendships become more important. I'll share one research study because it helps kind of give us a visual for it. They put women into MRI machines and they just do like shocking, just a little mild shocking to help create mild stress in your brain. And then they take brain image scanning of your brain to actually show the cortisol where it's lighting up. And there's 3 red splotches in the brain when we feel mildly stressed. And then they do the exact same study, except this time we're holding the hand of somebody outside the MRI machine who we feel supported by. And now only about 1/3 of the red lights up in our brain. And so this is such a powerful imagery because when we feel supported, how we answer the question, how loved and supported do I feel in life, actually tells us more about our health 10, 20 years down the road than any other factor. And they look at the huge studies and they pull all the social studies together. We're seeing that it's more, if you don't feel connected, it's more damaging to your health than smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It's twice as harmful as being obese. And think about how much attention our culture puts on those things. And it does the equivalent damage to our bodies as being a lifelong alcoholic. So this is not just wouldn't it be nice if I had girls' night? That's a human health issue.
In an age obsessed with rational and logical thought, we've lost our ability to tune into our intuition. Your sixth sense, third eye, whatever you call it. Energy healer Mika Banks tells us why it's so important to reconnect with that skill.
As the industrial age came and we moved farther and farther away from nature, the natural connectivity that we had and the the connectivity that you have when you're walking in a forest and you just kind of feel it around you, that it's alive. You know, we've rationalized like, no, I know it's alive because my brain tells me that.
Yeah.
Not because I'm actually sensing
Experiencing it,
and
yeah.
experiencing it in more ways than just my brain. We've put all of our power into this idea that our brain is what is controlling everything, but we actually have a ton more senses available to us at all times. You know, if your eyes are closed and you walk into a room, you can still sense, you have a feeling, you know when someone's standing behind you.
Absolutely.
You can feel that there. And it's because there's part of you that isn't necessarily your brain that's interacting with that information. And every single ancient modality, ancient civilization on the planet had some sort of healing modality that westernized industrial society has decided wasn't legit. You know, there's the meridian systems and acupuncture and that was mapped thousands and thousands of years ago. All the meridian systems were mapped thousands and thousands of years ago. So everyone has the ability to tap into anything that they want to. People who are extremely dominant in their left brain are very conditioned to ignore the sensory input that's coming from the right. They're literally numbed off to it.
Yeah.
Everyone has abilities that they are naturally. Some people, you just kind of are stronger in certain abilities than others.
Okay.
And you can develop that muscle of the other ones that you haven't, that you don't have. And you can also refine and focus the ones that you do have. It just takes practice and some training. Like you just you gotta exercise it.
Sure, we're boning and banging all over the place. But if I challenge you to engage your sensuality instead of your sexuality, would you even know what that means? Life coach Sasha Kagan breaks it down.
I think sensuality, to be really simple, is how we engage our senses of touch, taste, smell, sound, and sight.
Right.
And maybe even purpose would be a sixth sense of
interesting.
like feeling meaning or value and how you feel.
That then leads into fulfillment.
Sensuality is much bigger than sexuality. Sensuality is me walking on the ground barefoot and feeling the grass, or diving into the ocean, or eating food sensually and not worrying about being careful. Because if you're brought up to be proper, you're very careful about how you eat that potato chip, or you know, and it kind of cuts against your ability to feel pleasure, to feel food, to feel the tree, the grass, the ocean, whatever it is. The science backs us up that sensuality is how we feel the world, and somehow in this technological culture, we're all here and we're neglecting feeling through our bodies, and sensuality is the route to happiness, it's the route to pleasure, it's the route to knowing yourself, to be able to listen to your body and know what's important for you and what's not important for you. And of course, it'll make you a better lover, and you're going to have better sex, and women are going to love you if you're a man, if you're sensual, and vice versa. Biologically, we need pleasure. This is the thing that is actually going to keep us happy and healthy, and we don't talk about that, and pleasure has all this guilt put on it, which is crazy.
Absolutely.
But I talked about oxytocin, also endorphins have the capacity to make us less sensitive to stress and pain. Like a runner's high is something that people could identify with. So, you know, looking for pleasurable experiences is what you need to do to actually be healthy. And in the absence of pleasure, we have insomnia, we have anxiety, we have
A lack of pleasure.
Yeah.
Listen, wake up your senses, smell some lavender, let's go.